Do you ever feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells around the people in your life? Then it may be time to take a closer look and see if you're surrounded by emotionally immature individuals. Today's video is going to be eye-opening because we'll dive into the topic of emotional immaturity. Whether it's in your personal or professional relationships, the reality is that dealing with emotionally immature people can be draining and even damaging to your own well-being. So, let's get started and uncover the 10 telltale signs that indicate someone is emotionally immature. If you know many people who exhibit these signs, then it may be better for you to find better company. Number 1. They're not comfortable with having an honest conversation. Emotionally immature people often dodge talking about their feelings, to the point that they'll crack jokes about emotions or get visibly uncomfortable during serious conversations. This stems from not having enough emotional maturity. If you know someone who gets uncomfortable with the idea of facing their feelings, avoids the topic, or cracks jokes whenever you try to have a serious conversation, it's usually because they're feeling anxious. The idea of having a deep conversation triggers something inside them they just can't handle because they lack emotional regulation skills or aren't quite emotionally mature. Number 2. When you respectfully bring up an issue, they get angry or become sarcastic. When someone is emotionally immature, they struggle to handle discussions about their hurtful, upsetting, or disrespectful behavior. Instead of addressing the issue, they may become angry, lash out, or respond with sarcastic remarks like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm such a terrible person." They may also shift the blame onto you, saying something like, "I didn't know you were so sensitive." These folks often think everything is someone else's fault, so they might say their actions were justified because someone else did it first. They have a hard time owning up to their choices, thoughts, feelings, actions, and their part in any problem, which is why they become hostile when you confront them. This ties into the next item on our list. Number 3. They get defensive even during calm discussion. The truth is, when someone who's emotionally immature gets defensive, it's usually because they feel threatened. This reaction can be sparked by shame, pain, past trauma, or even just a recurring pattern. And when their rigid beliefs are challenged, they often shut down and avoid dialogue. Facing these fixed ideas can trigger intense defensiveness almost immediately, making meaningful conversation with them pretty tough. Why is that? Generally speaking, they often lack the emotional regulation skills and self-awareness to step back and address issues without resorting to excessive blame or self-shaming. And for them, such a conversation likely feels quite threatening. So their defensive reaction is not about you. Rather, it's about their internal struggles. Recognizing this can help you avoid getting drawn into their defensiveness, and you can help them focus on listening, understanding, and collaboratively solving the problem to reach a common understanding. Number 4. They put all their focus on themselves. When someone always makes everything about themselves, it usually shows a lack of emotional maturity. They're so wrapped up in their own world that they hardly notice others. For example, they often miss the signs that someone else wants to talk, share, or needs their support. They forget that everyone has their own problems and struggles. Sure, some people face bigger challenges at different times, but we all have our difficulties. It's important to support each other and keep a balanced give and take in our relationships, rather than making it all about ourselves. The emotionally immature believe otherwise. They think we shouldn't share our problems with them or ask for their support. This is because they feel like they're the only ones who deserve help from others. Number 5. They overreact to the simplest things. If someone in your life often blows minor issues out of proportion, it's a sign they're lacking emotional intelligence or regulation skills, which points to emotional immaturity. When someone can't control their emotions and gets really upset over small things, there might be deeper issues at play. But without self-awareness and emotional maturity, they can't see the real problem or handle their reactions properly. By the way, make sure to subscribe if you've learned something new today. Number 6. They minimize your successes. When you share something that makes you happy or proud or a goal you've achieved, emotionally immature people often downplay it. They might say your success was because of external factors or just ignore it. Sometimes they may even undermine your achievements by quickly pointing out something they did that they believe was more impressive. Just know that your success might feel a bit threatening to someone who's emotionally immature. To be clear, it's totally normal to feel jealous sometimes. We've all felt that little sting when someone else gets something we want, right? Whether it's reaching a goal, celebrating a win, overcoming a challenge, hitting a milestone, or landing a promotion. Here's the thing. Emotional immaturity isn't about having an emotional reaction when someone has something we want or feeling envious when they achieve something important to us. It's all about how we deal with those feelings. An emotionally immature person doesn't recognize their own vulnerabilities, fears, or insecurities in these situations. That's why they might react by downplaying, undermining, ignoring, or even criticizing the other person for their success. Number 7. They have a black and white mindset. Emotionally immature people often see the world in black and white. It's either their way or no way. They're not open to new ideas or different perspectives. They're rigid in their ideas, perspectives, methods, and even their madness. Their mindset is like they're always right and you're always wrong. When something bad happens, it's not their fault but yours or someone else's. If you hadn't done something, they wouldn't have reacted that way. And if you were more like this, then there wouldn't be any problems. Basically, they're the good one and you're the bad one. Let's face it. In many areas, things aren't always clear-cut. But if they're unable or unwilling to consider other viewpoints, appreciate nuances, and understand that some issues are definitely black and white, like murder, child abuse, and human trafficking being absolutely wrong, they're showing emotional immaturity. So, think about if there's someone in your life who's stuck in their ways, not open to new ideas, and doesn't really consider different perspectives or people. This shows a big lack of emotional maturity. Number 8. They irrationally blame themselves for things. Someone who always blames themselves too much shows emotional immaturity. It's why they might say things like, "I'm such a failure. I can't do anything right," or "you'd be better off without me." These kinds of statements clearly show a lack of emotional maturity because they don't take responsible accountability. Instead, they make themselves out to be the victim or martyr, avoiding dealing with their role in the problem maturely. This self-deprecating, self-shaming talk undermines their sense of worth and importance. Number 9. They ignore the impact of their words and actions on others. This relates to them being focused on themselves. If you know someone who always leaves you scratching your head with their cluelessness, it likely means they're not very emotionally mature. They don't have the empathy or awareness to see how their actions affect others. That's why they often act or speak without thinking about the consequences for those around them. Number 10. They get irritated by different perspectives. Emotionally immature people get easily annoyed by opinions or perspectives that don't match their own. This happens because they have a rigid worldview and aren't open to other viewpoints. They don't realize their thinking is shaped by their own influences, experiences, socialization, and family background. As a result, they struggle to understand that others have had different experiences and ways of learning, leading to a variety of ways of thinking. And if you liked this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to like this video to let the algorithm know you'd like to see more videos like these.